Hi, Phantoms. I'm Jason.
And I'm Kyle. And we're Only Phantoms. We're a small paranormal team from Central North Carolina.
Welcome to the Phantom Files, where we discuss all things paranormal
and interview other investigators, as well as read encounters with paranormal submitted by you, our listeners.
So sit back and let's get spooky. Ooh. So tonight here on Phantom Files, we are we are here with S.I.P.S, Southern Indiana Paranormal Society.
Great acronym, by the way.
It's awesome.
We
love it.
Who doesn't love taking a few good sips?
Exactly. Right. So if you don't mind, could you introduce yourself and basically tell us a little bit about your paranormal team?
Sure. My name's Amanda Hackworth. I am the co-founder of S.I.P.S. We're based out of the Evansville, Indiana area. And we've only been hunting for about a year, but it's really just grabbed us by the heartstrings. We love it so much.
Same here. Kyle and I, we are both founders. We've basically been doing this for almost 3 years now. Wait, this is
give or take. It's about about 2021. Yeah,
May of 2021 is when we started. So 2 years. We're going on 3. So we definitely are in the same boat there.
Nice.
Yeah. So how many people do you have on your team, or is it just you and one other person? Is it just you?
It is just me and one other person. Her name's Bailey. And we've been friends since we were in 1st or 2nd grade.
Aww.
And now we're both in our 30s. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was always a shared passion of ours, and we finally just decided to go for it.
So what made you decide to go for it? Was there any sort of spark, or had you guys actually experienced something that would be the spark that set it off?
Well, we were in 2019, we were at a paranormal convention up in Warsaw, Indiana, that was being run by my college roommate's family, because they are paranormal investigators. And so we went up to support them, and we got to meet Grant Wilson and Dustin Perry and the Tennessee Wraith Chasers. John Zappis was there, so we got to meet him. And it was an amazing night. We did an overnight or a couple-hour investigation at their old county jail with the Wraith Chasers one night and with John Zappis the next night. And we had things happen that we had never experienced before. And we were taking the 6-hour drive home, and it was all we could talk about the whole time. And we talked about making a YouTube channel and how cool would that be? And, then COVID happened, so we couldn't actually do anything.
That's actually fantastic. I know you can't see me, but I'm over here nodding my head. I'm like, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I went to a horror convention this year, and I've been going to the same one for a couple of years now, called Carolina Fear Fest. And hopefully next year we're going to have a table there.
Ooh,
we totally get that. A little bit about Kyle and I. Our first trip was to the Devil's Tramping Grounds here in North Carolina. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It has a local legend to it, but it's whatever. But basically, we followed the same path. Driving home, we decided to start up stuff.
Yeah. So you said that was all you could talk about on the way home. So what were some of the things that you had seen and experienced? You said there's a lot that you hadn't really encountered before, so it's like a whole new experience. Can you kind of sum up some of the things that you encountered, experienced? What was that like the first time?
Yeah, I mean, there were things that we had experienced before that we just never really acknowledged, because that wasn't our first time at their old jail. Like some of the things we'd had both times we'd been there before was hair pulling. And yeah, and not hard, but you could definitely feel a tug. And like the touch of someone like right by your shoulder. We felt that a couple times. And then we had some I can't remember exactly what they said, but there were some. It was my first experience with a spirit box, and there were a lot of good responses that came out of the spirit box that night that just made a whole bunch of sense. But the biggest thing was we were in the solitary confinement cell, and we were sitting in a circle, and we were the only people in the building, and we were passing around a voice recorder and just asking the same question over and over again to see if we could get a response. And we went back and listened to it while we were still sitting there. And after the last person asked the question, you hear a female scream that we did not hear in real time. And we were on the same floor as where the women and children would have been housed. And it gave me so many chills. I'd never felt something like that before. And I think that's kind of what really flipped the switch in me to be like, you need to do this.
Oh yeah, that's pretty wicked. Honestly, we've had a sort of similar experience. Well, I've had a sort of similar experience. It wasn't a yell or a scream, but a whisper.
Yeah.
But that I heard, no one else heard.
Yeah.
Goodness. So have you had a good amount of luck with EVPs like that?
Yeah. I mean, we've gotten some pretty decent ones in just the few places we've been to around Southern Indiana, and recently we went to Waverly.
Waverly Hills?
Yes, Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Oh.
We went for my birthday, and it was incredible. It was a 6-hour public overnight investigation. And even though there were like maybe 30, 40 people in the building with us, it was terrifying.
I bet that's definitely one of our bucket list investigations.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
You have to go. It's incredible. The body shoot alone was insane. I'm sure you know about the body shoot.
I've heard a good bit about it, yes.
Yeah. But
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the best thing I've heard so far reviewing evidence was the whole night I kept asking spirits to tell me happy birthday. It was the one thing I wanted. And I believe, and I posted this on our TikTok, but I believe I got away with one. We were doing a spirit box session, and over the spirit box, you hear something say happy birthday.
Oh, wow.
Heck yes.
For those of you listening, go check them out and make sure to see if you can find that on their TikTok.
Definitely. We'll have the TikTok and everything linked down below once this goes live. So absolutely Be sure to check out.
Oh, yeah. So all right. So how many locations have you been to?
So we've been to Waverly Hills. That's the biggest location we've been to. We have been to a local cemetery where some of Abe Lincoln's family is buried, because we're kind of in the homeland of Lincoln. And we've been to an abandoned church.
Oh.
I was going to say, how did that turn out for you?
Honestly, I've been reviewing the evidence recently. Haven't really had much.
So there's an old saying that's basically trying to stay away from old abandoned churches.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember why, but basically just leave them alone. Don't do them.
Yeah, it felt wrong while we were there, so I don't think it's somewhere or any place like it that will probably go again.
I mean, I'm definitely up for it myself, but I just try to listen to the older sayings and older things, the myths and legends, and see what we can pull out of it. So, as a paranormal investigator, do you also believe in aliens and cryptids or anything like that, or just
absolutely
spirits?
I am all in. I totally believe there's life out there that we don't know about, that may or may not have shown themselves to us. And I wholeheartedly believe in cryptids. My dad told me a story growing up of how he saw Bigfoot here in Southern Indiana when he was growing up. And since then, I was like, okay, yeah, he's real. There's no question.
That's right up Jason's alley. He's the Bigfoot guy.
Eh, I'm more all right. So I do like cryptids. I'm not the huge Bigfoot guy, but there
Mhm.
is a Bigfoot museum near us.
Oh,
It's
really?
yeah, it's within like an hour's drive of us. We've been there. It's very tourist trappy, I'll say. But aside from that, like it's nothing horrible.
Yeah. I would love
So,
to come out there and see that. That'd be so cool.
well, if you go on our Instagram, you'll be able to see stuff. I don't think I have anything from it posted on TikTok, but I
Okay.
have pictures of it on our Instagram.
That's
Um,
Okay.
speaking of the alien things. Have you been going absolutely nuts with all the recent basically declassifications? The government basically coming out and saying that aliens are real, and all of these new footages and everything coming out recently.
Oh, yeah. It's so cool to watch. And I do have a little bit of that mentality of like, yeah, we're kind of overshadowing it right now because there's bigger things to worry about, or, that millennial mindset of, oh, whatever, bring it on. But
Right? Yeah,
but
bring it on.
it's so cool to watch unravel and them talking about non-biologicals and using all these terms that are just skirting around the words we want to hear.
oh,
Right. What's the new abbreviation for UFO? It's been
UAP,
everything. UA
Yeah, UAP.
UAP,
UAP. Okay, yeah.
unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. Um, as a paranormal investigator, I myself have dived into buying equipment, trying to test different things and figure out things. What about you? Do you have a bunch of equipment as well, or do you just go by feel and
And
EVPs?
and what is your favorite?
Oh, I have way too much equipment. I don't even have what I want, but I know I have too much. Yeah, I mean, we've got a REM pod, we've got several voice recorders, we've got cameras with IR lights so we can see everything. Dowsing rods. I've got a pendulum. So we touch a bit on the technical and the more spiritual aspects of investigating.
That's awesome. I dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely got the basics there. Have you experimented too much with some of these like EVP and Spirit Box apps on the phone apps, anything like that?
Not on the phone. I do have a spirit box that we use every time we go because it's just so much fun. Um, but it's still so hard. We're still getting used to listening to it and picking out the words that are being said. So sometimes when we use it, it kind of seems like we're not getting anything, and that might be the case. Or we just might not hear it.
Yeah. There's also the case of it being pareidolia. So basically, you hearing something and you're in a creepy area, and so you may actually put words to sounds that you're hearing when there may actually not be words.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely a very fine line to walk there.
It really is. So I have another question. During your paranormal research and your investigations, what kind of experiments do you try? The Estes method, or maybe the Delco method, or are there any others that you might know of that you use?
Not really. We've wanted to use the Estes method a few times. We just haven't done it yet. I'm not sure why. I don't know if we just chickened out at the last minute or if something else caught our attention. Um, but we do want to use the Estes method at some point. What's the Delco method?
So the Delco method is basically the same as the Estes method, except
Mhm.
you're also putting red lights in your eyes, which
Oh,
What?
right.
yeah, it's a bit of what is it called? Uh, gosh, you're taking away your senses. I can't remember what that's called.
Sensory
Sensory deprivation.
deprivation.
Segregation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're taking away your sense of sight entirely,
Mhm.
and you're also listening to the static from a spirit box all at the same time. Instead of just headphones, you have headphones and these lights shining right in your eyes. And Oh,
Yeah, I've seen that done before. I don't know. I mean, the red light makes it look so much scarier.
oh yeah.
Even though it's just pretty much the same. But we have not tried that one yet, but I would love to.
Honestly, I personally have not yet tried the Estes method. A couple members of our team have,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure it's the same reason that I might be a little chicken shit sometimes, and I just chicken out and don't want to do it. So I'll put one of my other members through it.
Yep.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
so, about all right. So, have you guys gone on any personal or private investigations where you're investigating some local person's home?
Not yet. We got very close once. I have a lot of realtor friends, and one of them happened to mention to me that a house he had just sold to someone was having some activity. And we chatted with the guy, and we thought we were going to have something set up, but we think he got too nervous about it or embarrassed about it, and he never contacted us to come. But we've had some people question us and ask for our contact info, but it's never actually come to fruition. But we would love to.
Our team has done one, and that was several months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was strange. Um, a couple of us may have heard a few things here or there, but other than that, like we didn't really put too much stock into what the people were saying was going on without experiencing it ourselves.
Hmm.
And since then, someone else has taken over the property, so we have not been able to return to try and investigate further.
We did get some cool stuff from the haunted Airbnb, though.
Oh, we did. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, I forgot we did the Airbnb.
Yeah, which is kind of hilarious because I'm the skeptic amongst our group, the biggest
Mhm.
skeptic. Got to add that little pepper in with there. But
yeah.
Mhm.
number one thing is, and Jason's almost there with me.
Oh no, I'm right there with you with the orbs.
So yeah, the orbs. We kind of get a chuckle on most of these ghost shows because a lot of the orbs are very clearly not. Some of them
Yeah.
are questionable. I'm pretty sure we got legitimate, honest to goodness, a couple of different orbs at this place, or
Oh, yeah.
of some kind, something unexplained moving in just different little patterns that don't resemble anything else, and they were common inside a house with very little airflow, all of that good
No
stuff.
dust.
So
Like this is one of the cleanest houses I've ever seen.
yeah,
And
Wow.
honestly, like there were a couple of them. We had trail cameras posted up around us while we were investigating, and we had some orbs manifest in front of us. We couldn't see them, but the trail camera picked it up and
Whoa.
dissipate in the same area.
That's incredible.
It was wild. And we didn't
very
know any of
interesting.
this. We were literally just what.
This is very interesting. Yeah, we were just in the thick of it, and nothing seemed really off. Other than we did get a lot of EMF, but it was being an older home. Sometimes that does happen.
Yeah, because of
Mhm.
unshielded wire and things like that.
Yeah.
I forgot my next question.
Good thing we have them written down.
Oh yeah. So, what would you say is your scariest experience that you've ever had?
Ooh.
Oh gosh. Um, well, non paranormal, someone bumped into me at Waverly and it scared the bejesus out of me. I almost punched him in the face. Um, and then in terms of spiritual happenings, gosh, probably that EVP scream we got at that old county jail.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It was it was blood curdling, and it was one of the scariest things I've ever heard.
Speaking of bumping into someone and being scared so much, he almost punched. At our last investigation, one of my teammates was moving around very quietly. She's very silent. And I didn't know she was around. I move around the corner and she goes, and scared the ever-loving crap out of me to the point I actually kicked her in the shin and freaked out. You can see my freak out on TikTok. It's hilarious.
Oh no!
To be fair, it doesn't take much to surprise you.
Man, shut up.
It is very much a little game we play.
Are you saying I'm very spookable?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's a very good way to put it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Topic real quick here. Bailey just walked in. My other co-founder.
I did. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome, Bailey. So good to have you here. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you especially for having us. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just talking to Amanda about different experiences that she's had. Could you tell us anything about one of the wildest, weirdest, or most interesting experiences that you've had in the paranormal field?
Oh goodness. I don't know, because the ones that we do have tends to be, honestly, I think we were always together.
Yeah.
But I'd have to go with, well, I walked in and I heard you talking about it, the old jail.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there, and oh my gosh, I just lost his name.
John Zappis?
No, but John Zappis was there, but the guys from
The Tennessee
Wraith Chasers, yes. And we were in the cell with him, and then we audibly heard a female scream. That has stuck with me. And then also, I feel like I'm kind of the brave one that likes to...
Yeah, she is.
I like to try to be rational and disprove things, but it was the same investigation, and they were like, oh, well, let's try flashlight responses, and they asked for anybody to want to hold a light, and I was like, sure, I'll do it. And then it was going crazy, like responding to answers when we were there. So that was my first real experience with like the flashlight method. And I was like, oh, well.
That's new. We haven't tried that.
Yeah, I was about to say, actually, that is the first. I haven't heard of that. I remember that was something that was. It felt almost like TV magic, because when I was growing up, I remember seeing on ghost shows that happened all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it too much recently.
Yeah, we haven't done it in person at all, so we have not experienced that. That is definitely something we'll have to do at Stonewall.
We've had whole conversations.
Yes.
With a flashlight. It's
the flashlight.
Yeah.
Yep. We did asking yes and no questions and asking them to shut it off and turn it on command, and they did. And which I'm the same way. I'm very skeptical about TV shows, because I'm like, okay, these people, like, they've got all these camera people around, they could do whatever. But then when you literally sit the flashlight down yourself and then ask a question and it lights up, and then you ask for it to, hey, can you turn that off, and it shuts off right away, it is definitely a different feeling.
Yeah.
We've had a similar experience with cat balls and the REM pod.
Yes, we love the cat balls.
Oh my goodness.
Cat balls.
Yeah, I mean, when we go to places like the Devil's Tramping Ground or anywhere basically where we know that it's level, we can set these cat balls down, and we can actually jump around. We can jump around them and not set them off.
Yes.
But then you start asking questions and have them set them off. Oh, love it.
We actually, and this is on our TikTok. I forgot about this one, but we went to, we were called to a friend's house to investigate his house that his family has owned since it was built in, I think it was like 1901.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, nice.
And we were up in the attic, and we just had a cat ball and an EMF and I think the REM pod on a little end table that was sitting up there. And this cat ball had been going off, and it finally stopped. And it had been on there for probably 10 or more minutes. And Bailey saw it with her own two eyes, and we got a recording of it. But the ball slightly rolls itself, but doesn't go off. Like, it didn't flash, but it rolled itself. And those things go off with the slightest vibration. So
yeah, they do.
That was one of the coolest things we had gotten.
Oh yeah, because I was like, it just moved. it just rolled.
I had to edit my response out of that because it was.
Yes.
It was not
Oh well, that's perfectly fine.
We did catch it on video, so that was really great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So, Bailey, we've asked Amanda this question, but we'd like your answer as well. Out of all the equipment that you guys carry with you on investigations, what's your favorite to use?
Probably the cat balls. I really love the cat
Cat
balls.
balls.
Yep.
Cat
The
balls. Cat
I
balls.
love them, and I also love doing the thing where you set them up and you ask them, like, ask for somebody to touch it, things like that. And we've had a few that continuously would go off to the point, like, I thought it was broken, and then, but we'd use the same one because I'd test it, and we go to a different spot and nothing. So,
yeah, that happened a lot at Waverly.
Last time we were at the tramping grounds, we did that too.
Yeah.
Yes, because I was starting to be convinced that it just wasn't working. I was like, maybe the battery's going bad. I don't know. It's new. But then we used the same one later, and I was like, hey, because I called it out. I was like, hey, you realize this is the same ball and it's not going off nonstop. And we were like, oh.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to use all the different tools of the trade. And, maybe someday soon we can stop calling it a pseudoscience and start actually calling it a science when we can start figuring out what it is that we're searching for.
Measure. I had a random question, but do you ever wonder sometimes you may catch the spirit of a cat actually wanting to have a little playtime?
I never wondered that, but
I never wondered that, but we've gotten scared by a real cat.
Yeah.
They are scary. Absolutely fair enough.
Yes, we've had a real cat run behind us in the middle of the pitch black and scare us to death. So
a pitch black dirt ground basement.
Yes.
And a cat just comes out of nowhere and scared the crap out of us.
What would have been great is if you didn't see the cat, but all you saw was footprints. Oh.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. Oh, man.
Speaking of footprint, have you guys ever found any evidence like that, like handprints, footprints, any kind of like physical mark? I know you mentioned that the ball you had one of the balls slightly moved, but beyond maybe like the flashlight, anything, any physical manifestation, or even just a slight going back again, something like the hair pulling or anything like that. Anything else slightly off?
I was like, the first time that I'm forgetting, I can't say the name, the K.
Oh, I can't pronounce it either. It's called the Old County Jail.
Yeah, the Old County Jail up in Warsaw.
Yeah.
That is the first time that I was touched. I felt like somebody touched me on the shoulder and then that my hair was pulled there. But that was my first ever investigation, and I still remember it because Amanda and I think, was it your first time too, or was it your second?
That was my second time there.
And so, and mind you, it was like a 5-hour car ride back, and we went home right after that. And we didn't say anything during the actual investigation. And then when we got in the car was when I was like, so did anything weird happen? Did you see a shadow maybe? And she was like, yes. So it was the doubting ourselves, but my hair got pulled when I saw a shadow go behind her. And then I also had what felt like my hair getting pulled in Waverly, but it was like gentle. Because it's one of those things.
Gentle tug.
Yes, it was like a gentle tug to where I like kind of looked around to make sure I didn't like walk into something. But things like that, and most recently, Amanda just caught on video her backpack.
Yeah, that abandoned church I was talking to you about. The one thing so far that I have found out of there, I had my backpack sitting up where like the preacher would have been or the pastor would have been.
Okay.
And I had just like ruffled through it, got some things out, put some things back. So the weight distribution was off and it started falling forward. And I knew the reason for that was because I had just messed with it. But then on the video, there's a strap in the back where the slip is to put like your laptop, and it has a strap to hold it in that Velcros. That strap just suddenly, very forcefully twists itself and then doesn't move again.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's something I saw that I was like, hold on a second. That's not normal. That's not how that should move.
Definitely no. You mentioned you guys got that on have you guys put edited that and put that into a video yet?
Not yet. I just found that on footage this week.
Ooh,
Oh,
breaking news.
Ooh, yes. That right there will probably get you a ton of views. Just that sounds like it's creepy as all heck.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yes, because she sent me, I think, a Snapchat video, and she's like, "What did that? It's moving."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh dear." I was like, "Hey, we caught something from there, though."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when Kyle and I went to the Airbnb, we weren't sure we were going to catch anything. We didn't see anything. And I was going through the footage. I was like, holy crap, Kyle, look at this, look at this, look at this. And I sent him little snippets of it. And I told him, hey, look, man, watch this time, watch in this area. Boom. And he watches, he's like, yeah, no, that one's not real. And he looks at it and he goes, holy crap, that may be something. Whoa.
Yeah, you got to watch it like 100 times, and then you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that is what that is."
Yeah,
that is EVPs. Yeah. I am the most skeptical of EVPs ever. So I feel like we balance each other out, though.
Yeah,
because like, oh, did you hear this? Did you hear this? And then if I'm like, no, then we normally move on. But when I do hear it, those get posted.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
honestly, I'll go into an audio editing software and I'll crank up the volume as high as I can just to be able to hear anything. And I'm sitting there with my ears just being blown out by somebody breathing or somebody touching their clothes. I'm like, oh God, come on, just say something. Let there be words.
Or God forbid you have Spirit Box going.
Yes. Oh.
Yes.
Well, I certainly hope our podcasts have about a 2-week buffer, so hopefully maybe then we can check out that video on our live stream. We can assess that. Yeah.
Ooh, definitely. I'll get it up this week if that's the case.
Yeah.
That'll be fantastic. If you're able, we're not going to pressure you guys.
Definitely no rush, of course. But
when it's up, let us know. Just send us a message and say, hey, that video is up, and we will check it out on our live stream on Twitch.
Heck yeah. That's awesome.
So, let me ask, are there any other places that people can reach you? They can see your footage, they can see your content, anything like that?
Her TikTok is the main place we post. I try to also post on our Facebook page.
Okay.
If you search Southern Indiana Paranormal Society, you'll find us. And we also have an Instagram that we post on. And thus, you should be able to search S.I.P.S and find us.
Okay. Yeah. So, do you have any more questions? Because right now my brain is just rattled.
Definitely. So, and now you mentioned what you've already done. What's next for S.I.P.S? What do you guys have planned on the horizon, or what are, if you don't have anything in concrete, what are kind of your next the next steps that you want to go to? Maybe you've had some place in mind to check out, or even just a video idea. What do you have? What's brewing?
I mean, locally and very small, we have like a couple cemeteries we'd like to hit that we have family ties to. And then,
so there, I don't know where you guys are based out of. I missed the whole beginning.
North Carolina.
Oh, okay. So in Indiana, there is, I believe it's Mitchell, Indiana, which is about, was it like 2 hours away?
Not that far. Oh. It's closer. It's between here and Louisville.
Okay. Well, so there is a place called Whispering Estates that I really want to go to.
Definitely.
All of the paranormal investigations that I have looked at the reviews and things, they've all gotten a lot of actual footage and things like that. So that's something that is plausible for the near future. And then Waverly, I'd love to go back to Waverly.
Oh yeah, Waverly is only about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from us, so that's an easy one.
Awesome.
I know. One that recently came up on my bucket list that I've added is the Villisca Axe Murder House in Iowa.
Oh, his eyes just lit up.
Oh, they hand you the keys and just let you go. So I mean, I'm so in for that.
That's basically what happened with our team at Trevette Clinic recently. So that was awesome.
It's
Yeah,
definitely fun to have it all to yourself.
Oh yeah.
definitely.
And then big picture, I just would love to like go to Salem and
Yeah.
go to New Orleans and things like that too, with all the history. And I also am into like all the witchy and crystals and things like that. And so
Fantastic. You should definitely go. And I have been told that going around Halloween is probably one of the best times to go. Not necessarily because, the veil is thinner between our world and the next, but it's Salem, Massachusetts. It's New England
Yeah.
in the fall. It's very spooky, very cool, comfortable weather.
And
It's
not 110 degrees.
Yeah, not 110 degrees in January like it is,
Yeah.
But it's also the entire vibe of the place around that time of year. Like they go all out.
Yes. I would love to go up there.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys so much. I'm going to end the recording here in just a moment. Once again, S.I.P.S, Amanda, Bailey, thank you guys so much. Once again, I'm going to have all of you guys' stuff linked down here in the description below. Please do give them a follow. Check their stuff out. And once again, thanks so much for being here. We're so glad to have you. You guys have been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for having us. This was really, really fun.
yes, and sorry.
Awesome. Once you guys go to more places, we might have you come back.
Oh, absolutely. We'd love to.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Phantoms. We'll call this. See you on Phantom Files next time. Peace.